I'm Zoe Channon and I'm the Director of Business Development and Partnerships here at the Surrey Wildlife Trust. To me, they're everything. They sustain life, they control the air that we breathe, the water that surrounds us. They're an integral part of human health, notwithstanding obviously the biodiversity and the abundance that they house. They create a patchwork of interconnected networks throughout the county. Think of them almost as an arterial vein in a body. So without them and without connectivity between habitat, animals and species, they can't thrive, they can't move and they can't flourish. In Surrey, we've got woodlands, we've got grasslands, we've got wetlands, and all of these are so important to a host of different species. Habitats are also really important in the way that we adapt to climate change. Think of them as an area that can sequester carbon, for example. Carbon is a huge problem for us now. They can help hold water back. They can help with wildfire resilience. There are all sorts of ways that we can make a fundamental difference to how we live, breathe and work every day if we just valued our habitats more. Climate change is probably the biggest one, an increase in wildfires, less water than we need, we've got more water than we need, and all of this is taking its toll on their ability to thrive and flourish. Pollution is another major threat to our habitats. Our rivers are polluted with sewage, chemicals, pesticides, etc. But it's the same for other habitats as well. Our cars produce noxious gases, it makes it harder for habitats to grow in the way that they should. Development pressure here in the southeast is also really high. The need for housing, the need for road networks and other amenities like schools mean that our habitats are being fragmented and they're also being pushed into. The solution is simple. We all need to work together to make a difference. If we work across the county, across landowners, no matter who we are and no matter what we're doing, it will definitely make a difference. If you own a piece of land, it's so important to understand what you've got and how that fits into your local community and indeed the county as a whole. Every bit of land plays such a vital part in habitats, their recovery, their overall management and indeed our overall health and well-being and the economy. If we stop looking at habitats at an individual level and grow our lens to a landscape level view, this will start to make a fundamental difference, not only within our own county, but also nationally. Connectivity does exactly what it says on the tin. Without it, habitats become extremely fragmented, species can't move properly. The more that species can move around, the more abundant they're likely to be. Otherwise you get slightly constrained pockets that just sit in one tiny area. That doesn't encourage a thriving and healthy county. So at the Surrey Wildlife Trust, we only manage 3% of the county. So in order to create this interconnectivity and this mosaic of habitats, we need to work with other landowners, be that golf courses, equestrian centres, even large corporates. Working with landowner clusters is particularly important. They're groups of people who tend to get together around a shared vision for their local area. They might be farmers, they might be private landowners, but the most important thing is all working towards the same end goal. So I'm here today to talk to Kate Bigwood from the Bigwood Estate about her hope for habitats.
Habitat restoration is all about recreating a balance. I remember when I was a child and you would drive along and the car was always covered in insects, and now you just don't see that anymore. What you don't want to have is habitat existing in isolation, because then nothing can leave the area and set up homes elsewhere, so the genetic diversity then becomes too narrow. So we're excited to be the first farm cluster in Surrey, and a big part of what we're trying to achieve is to improve that connectivity. So across several landholders, we're looking to improve woodlands, hedgerows, wetlands such as this one, and wildflowers. We put in this wetland 2 years ago. We literally just hired a digger for 2 days on this area and just carved from the mainstream, encouraged the flow to slow down. It was always flooding downstream. One of our reasons was to create a better wet habitat, because wet grassland sequestrates 5 times more carbon than woodland.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's about the important habitat, and there's not enough wet grassland habitat in this area, and it is a natural floodplain. And ever since we put it in, despite the very wet winters, just downstream has not flooded since we did it. So this very short area has really transformed the lives of a lot of people, and I think if we can do that on a bigger scale, then we can really change a lot of things for the better.